That's it for Work Magic. I hate Standard right now. It's a terrible place to be. All the decks are super powered and ridiculous, and I'm not enjoying playing it. So I'll probably be playing quite a bit more limited on this channel, at least until I have enough of a collection to truly jank out and build all the ridiculous shit that you can potentially build into with this deck, like or with this set, like the Song of Creation combo, and just like a red-blue Ominous Seas Phoenix style deck, and whatever various dumbassery. But currently I don't have enough rares to build anything interesting and fun to goof around with, so I'm stuck trying to slog through with what I've got. And I don't like any of the decks that I can build right now. They're just not my style. Not that there's anything wrong with any of the decks I'm coming up with here, but they're just not the kind of Magic I want to play, and it's not scratching the itch that I'm looking for, unfortunately. There's not a lot I can do about that. But this is just a blue-black control shell. It's got one blast zone in here to potentially destroy Witch's Ovens, which is fun. We have all your classic control pieces. There are 22 hits for Augur, which makes it fairly reliable, but you know, it's Augur Bolas. It can miss, and when it does, it sucks. But this definitely allows us to weather an early control game. Right now, if you see an aggro matchup, it's almost always Lurrus. So this blocks virtually everything in their deck for the early turns. We of course have your traditional removal or discard suite of 2 to 6 discard spells in these colors. This 2-mana discard spell is always good. We have Heartless Act we're trying out, which we're finding is good against everything but Hydroid Krasis. Big Jelly Boy is a problem. Real problem for this piece of removal. Narset, because we have, I believe, 27 hits, 30 hits for Narset. So she fetches things pretty neatly. Also, you know, stopping card draw against certain decks in particular, like the Cycling deck and all the Oro decks, etc., etc. We have a couple Chemist's Insights to pitch unnecessary Cries and Ritual of Soots and lands in the control mirror. We have one God, some Eats because they're versatile, 3 Shark Typhoons. I suppose is the real story of this one. If we can land Shark Typhoon, because our deck is so instant and sorcery heavy, it seems impossible for us to lose. But I've found that I'm running into a tremendous amount of counter magic, and Shark Typhoon is often just cycle make a shark, which is still fine, but certainly not my intention when putting this together. The sideboard is fairly straightforward, and we have some Grafdigger's Cages for a variety of matchups, a couple more pieces of counter magic, 1 piece of exile removal, the 4th Cry, 3 Libations, which is good against untargetable threats, as well as just being a good live instant in the flash matchups. A Murderous Rider. The Rotting Regisaurs are primarily for the Jeskai matchup, because they tend to be very, very slow, and their main removal suite is Deafening Clarion. We bring in Rotting Regisaur, it outsizes all other creatures, and we just try to beat them down. Since rank doesn't really matter at this point, like there's no way I'm gonna qualify this season, we'll just play this in ranked. And I have 3 different Sultai builds. I'll probably play each of those once, just to see how those feel. I really don't know what the proper Sultai build is, so I've experimented with a lot of things. I think ultimately what I really want to build is Abzan, because the new Mythos card for 3 mana and Abzan colors seems ideal for this format. Essentially just being able to kill anything, whether it's artifact, enchantment, or what have you, seems very good right now. And that new Mythos in Abzan colors, I believe, says destroy any non-land permanent, so long as you spend Abzan mana. I feel like that, along with 4-mana Vraska and Assassin's Trophy, allow us to answer a wide variety of threats, which the current game state requires. In the control mirror, this is not a good position for us. It looks like they're
that's how it was meant to happen.
Yorion Doom. I have to assume whenever I see the egg, I'm assuming Yorion Doom. So I really have no idea what to expect here. We are, of course, flooding out while they have a handful of cards that are castable. We have nothing, which is typical on this show. Tripping away. Well, that's unlucky for us. They got their second carry in an 80 card deck in record time, and all we're drawing is land. Gosh. Yeah, well, can't do anything about drawing bad. That's just what we do here.
Don't worry, I got this. You just let me know if you're up for round 2.
Kind of silly that he didn't bounce this Omen. Pumping that up to 6 is really ambitious of our opponent. If you know you're facing a control deck, you have to assume they're going to have a lot of diverse removal. You should try to get value out of your cards as soon as possible. Here's the Doom Foretold. So we're going to save this land in hand indefinitely. If he tries to cast Yorion, we're just going to blast the Owl. This wouldn't be so bad if we had one of our castles. We could do something with our mana.
Practiced against. I have just the trick for this. Keep an open mind.
Well, we've got things to discard. Damn it. Goes one of my castles. That's sad. I guess we could double Cry the Carnarium in theory next turn.
You are a mighty warrior. I concede.
Guess we'll wait for that wall before we pull that ripcord. One more mana gives us the option to double Cry and have Neutralize up. Well, so much for that plan. All he's got is the Orion to Fairy Owl. Yeah, I guess we want to stop taking 3 in the face. Castle, Scry Castle. I'd like to take it, but we're going to need an answer for whatever comes back from this. That's cute. Probably got dance in there somewhere too. Might have dance now. Yeah. Yeah. Once again, a companion deck. We started with a 7-card hand. They started with an 8-card hand. We lost. That's pretty much always going to happen. This companion is busted. Dance of the Manse, Conquers Death. Potentially kill him very, very quickly. Very least, it's going to force a Conqueror's Death. Currently generates no value. Doesn't matter if we lose cards if they lose the game. Should we take the Conqueror's Death here? This is what's known in the business as a juke. Didn't have any creature threats in the main deck. All of a sudden we've got creatures. Oh no, what are you going to do? That kind of thing.
Let's slow this down.
That's pretty good.
Let's try this.
Of course he top decked that.
That didn't go according to plan.
Now we can just pass, hold up Mystic Dispute. We'll just cast the Murderous Rider. Didn't even get to connect with our Rotting Reggie.
Sorry I'm late.
Can Teferi just fucking rotate already? Oh my fucking god. This is why we can't have nice things.
I'll protect you. This is hardly my worst defeat.
We lost all of those games to Teferi. He cast Teferi 4 times, and it was the only card that mattered. What a fun, good game. What a great state that Standard is in right now. This is a blink deck. It has cards in it. Let's go lose. When I did my review of the set, I didn't review companions because I thought it was too complicated a mechanic to evaluate in a vacuum. So I abstained. I did say that I felt like no other cards would make a major impact in the format, and so far I've been 110% right. As you can see, a deck from 83 years ago, featuring Teferi, just completely dusted us. And Jeskai Fires has been top 8ing everything. It's the same fucking deck it's always been, just with a companion. Same Teferi, same bullshit, same fucking Kenneth. Which shouldn't be a card, by the way. It's not even in a real fucking set. Nothing really changed. It's the same shitty, miserable, fucking stagnant play patterns. Just drug out even further. There's no joy here. No fun. So we've got tribal deck, and we're Omega flooding. Always good. So we're going to get counterspelled, right? Counterspells are fun. Counterspells and Teferi are fun. Yep. Counterspells and Teferi are fun, kids. Good fun magic here. Having lots of fun. Having all the fun. Having so much fun.
We will not fail. The land shall conquer you.
Kill my land, please. Thank you. That's why we didn't animate this one, kids. Uh-huh. That's incredible. That's incredible. Go away. Want to destroy another one? Go right ahead.
Be wary of the
Apparently
ground
that's
you
all I
walk.
got. Another fucking Jeskai control deck. Just with a different companion. Again, playing against an 8-card deck with 7. We now have enough for Agent of Treachery, and I believe there is one in the bin. And a Thassa. So if these die in any way that's not exile, we should have a pretty good time.
The land fights for us.
Is settle still legal? Are we gonna get settled? Okay, I mean, at least they're using a new card. I like Shark Typhoon. Continuing to keep us away from Agent mana. Somewhat annoying.
I must go.
Sure. Survives by 1 life. So we have 7. Again, if either of the Cavaliers dies in a way that is an exile, we immediately get an Agent of Treachery. For fuck's sake! This is really, 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 really fucking annoying. Now we're just going to cast Uro over and over again. I'm never going to activate this.
If you show remorse, I'll show restraint. This might be a bad idea.
Blocker doesn't do it because Thassa taps everything.
This isn't a fight you can win.
Hey, it's Teferi again. Guess who's back, kids? It's Teferi.
That's more like it.
So sick of this fucking game. Sure.
Trust me, I have a plan.
Third Teferi, please.
Stay back. I'm an explosively good pyromancer. Let's get toasty.
Uh-huh. Yep. One, two, three, four, five. Is this 4? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We don't have enough to do this and get back Tamio, but if we hit a land this turn, we will. There's a very real possibility that we could deck out as well. Okay.
Here goes nothing.
Had our opponent at 1 hit point multiple times.
Let me demonstrate the prowess of my ancestors. Let me help you practice.
This is so fucking annoying. How could anyone enjoy this? How could anyone have fun playing this format? How? Look at this shit.
If you wish to surrender,
Look at what I'm looking at.
I understand.
This is fucking
Oh,
absurd.
prowess.
How is this fun? Bounce your thing. 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 Giant over the top effect. Giant over the top effect. Game. Cool. What a fun format.
Utterly is the best way to destroy things.
Uh-huh. Jesus fucking
I'm
Christ.
known for my excellent timing.
We're done. Forget it. Okay, that was one deck. Here's another one. So far, Teferi, 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 Teferi. Teferi? Hey look, it's another companion. Does that make 3 companions in a row? For those of you following along at home, that makes 3 companions in a row. Oh, good. So you have to play a companion or lose. Oh, good. Everybody ready to counterspell? I am.
What a strange and magnificent world. Harness the elements.
I am Cameo. It is an honor to meet you.
Huh. Someone's as triggered by Tamio as I am by Teferi, huh? Okay, guess we'll try that one again. We only even have one Tamio in that deck. Two temples, we have some looks. Our first non-companion opponent of the day. Probably means the mirror then, right? Okay. Representing Aethergust. Now we need a second black for casualties. We don't want that. Oh, it's black-blue flash. That's, I believe, an auto loss for this deck, especially with this hand. Yep, this one's over already. Uh-huh. Drawing lands and 6-drops like God intended. Land and 6-drops like God intended. Okay. Someone is main decking Starlit Mantle. Draft All-Star Starlit Mantle. Alright. We've gotten to that tier of this show. Guess it's where we belong. Cool. I love dying to one creature. Black. Yep. Infinity Sea Dasher Octopuses. Let's see, we need black, black, green, green. Doesn't matter what we fetch.
I would like to ask about any lunar anomalies you have experienced. Let me aid your research.
Didn't really accomplish much there, champ. That'll be fun.
You would make an excellent informant for my study. The past is never forgotten.
The hope here is he puts this on this, and then we take them both. I think this has to do combat damage to a player, though. Let's see if he recognizes that. He did. We are going to try to take it. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If we draw 1 mana, we can casualties and hold up Massacre Girl. This way, if we get countered, we have a plan B. Okay.
To the library.
Missed there. Only 2 untapped. Just too many fucking bounce effects in standard. There's just too fucking many bounce effects. Forces everything into a bottle. If you're playing anything that costs a lot of mana, it better be a spell. Because if it's a permanent, it's going to get fucking sent back to your hand 800,000 million times. Hey. Cool.
Seek and find.
Crisis? Let's try Crisis. Oh boy. That's a funny one. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We can crisis for 6. Crisis for 4. Let's crisis for 4. Fucking flash deck with fucking Starlit Mantle. Alright. So how's everybody doing today? Fun? Day 43 of quarantine for me, maybe 44. I have been playing limited for the last 4 or 5 days because, as you're seeing here, standard is so we can grab a swamp or a forest, spiral. This has high potential, but also high potential for destruction. I think I'm okay with that. If we draw a land, then we don't have to worry about what colors we're asking for here. That works too. So I suspect we want to remorse before spiraling. By all means, kill yourself with lands. I'm down. So ideally we'll hit a land next turn that isn't Fabled Passage, but no matter what, we've got Tyrant Scorn to hold up, which is great. If we get just right for lands, we can spiral and Tyrant Scorn. Pretty unlikely though. It was good that we remorsed first there, or we'd be taking a hit and losing card tempo. Cool. I think this does it, right? Grab an island. Go away. So any land is great here. Forest in particular. Otherwise, we're just going to cast Atreus. Ooh, or maybe we're not. Because he's got Disdainful Stroke up, I think we'll just... Oh, wait, we can't cast that. We're missing a black mana. We have to give him something to counterspell. If he lets this resolve, we'll negative and take Tyrant's Scorn back. At least he took his turn there. So now we do this. He can bounce it, but he can't bounce and cast the Brazen Borrower, which is important. Got plenty of blue. That's particularly bad, yeah. Looks like we're losing this one. If he has any kind of disruption in hand, we're definitely dead. Going to 5 here. We casualties of war, targeting the Briarborn Cutthroat. Cast that. Swings puts us to 1. We can't block both. Yeah. Pretty unlikely we were going to win on the draw there. Okay. Tomio does what? It gets us to Uros. Sure. Probably dig for Heartless. Let's see, black, 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 black. Blue, blue, blue. Green, green, green. This lets us pay for dispute if they have it. Two down. Spectral Sailor? No? Go 6, leave the black blue untapped. Draw land, we can keep up Tyrant Scorn. Do that on their turn. Four counter spells. Feel my life leaving me. No amount of coffee can save me from this fate. Make a decision, you piece of human excrement. Flash players are unironically the slowest players in the world. Fuck. Well, we gotta remove this. Deal with this thing as it comes. Yep. Of course. Cool. YOLO. Yep. That works.
I must seek comfort in the land.
Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Just speed it the fuck up. Flash players are unironically the slowest players in the game. I've seen this phenomenon before. People who play Flash think they're being tricky, think they're playing an interactive deck, trying to fucking big brain it. You don't have the capacity, and it's not a big brain deck. Do I want to counter it? Do I want to cast a creature? Done. You think you're going to flash in to block my menace creature? You're not. Good for you. And currently we don't have 5 cards, so let's just not play the Cavalier. Trample, buddy. Trample. Reading the card explains the card. Yeah, I only have 4 cards, buddy. I read the card. Uh-huh. That sucks. I think he thought the Murderous Rider was going to go to the graveyard. Again, reading the card explains the card. Alright, well, that was a thing. I believe we have one final Sultai control deck we will play one match with. And then we will go jump off a bridge. Don't jump off a bridge, kids. This is a satirical show where I'm playing a character. All right. This deck is Shark Typhooning. It's mostly spells. As one can see, a decent amount of 2-drops down here. I was skeptical about Assassin's Trophy, but it has been really good in a lot of matchups. The fact that instant speed matters a lot. Giving land to people is never great, but if it keeps you alive, then it's doing its job. Got some Cries and Rituals main here. The old Uro engine, of course. A couple of Vraskas that deal with cat ovens and various other things. Shark Typhoon obviously is the primary way that we want to win with this one. We have Counter Magic for the Flash and Garuda decks. Disfigure for the aggro decks, which no longer exist apparently. 2 more Cries for the aggro decks. 3 Libations, some more Artifact and Enchantment Hate, and a couple Murderous Riders for the Infinity Planeswalker fuck. And away we go.
Take your marks. Set.
Gotta wake up your dog. Gotta do it. We have all our colors. We don't have any 2-mana accelerants. And they're a Jeskai Fires deck. So we can trophy the first fire. Back to the meta tier 1 decks, I suppose. Maybe it'll be better 4 months from now, but probably not. Our opponent's keeping an 8-land hand with Scry 3. We're keeping a 5-land, 7-card hand with no guaranteed threats. And 4 of a kind of our breeding pool. Is he gonna Bone Crusher me? Yeah. It's the only thing he could be pausing for. Yep. We kept a 5-land hand. We have drawn 3 more. No, 2 more. Yep. Now fires and Sphinx, and we lose. Narset.
I'd prefer a peaceful resolution, but I'll fight if I must.
Have some more land.
How overwhelming. Enlightenment begins within.
Well, if you were worried at all that we were going to run out of land, don't worry.
Your
We're
life's
not.
about to end. I guess today's your lucky day.
Sphinx of Foreskin is here, everybody.
Only sacrifices must be made from time to time.
Yep. This one's in the books. Yep. Dream Trawler not very common in these matches, but still does its job. So Vraska doesn't really do anything here. Cry doesn't do anything here. Ritual doesn't do anything here. Primarily, you just want to try to murder all the creatures they play. It's about all you can do that's effective here. Casualties, of course, pretty great if we get to it. I honestly don't think we care that much about trying to play the control game. But is there anything here that's just worse than a Disdainful Stroke? Since we're in the control matchup, we could cut the growth spirals for Disdainful Strokes if we wanted. Alright. Not like it matters. I mean, your odds of being an 8-card hand with a 7-card hand are like just 20% lower than they ought to be. Because that's how math works. The guy with more resources wins most of the time. Companions guarantee more resources. Because apparently we're fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! Now! Isn't that right, Yugi boy? Fucking Legion War Boss? Cheeky bastard. Bottom that. Sure. I think we need to save the eat for a Kenny or Cavalier. Just gonna get to draw so many fucking cards off this. Yep. Well, we had a chance. Now we don't. After we drew 4 cards for 5 mana, our Crisis seems pretty shitty, doesn't it? Kind of just hoping for fires and a big creature here so we can Casualties of War. Of course, if it's Dream Trawler, we're kind of fucked.
Humble your mind. There is always more to learn. Meditate with me.
Great. Fantastic.
My prowess is unmatched by my peers. Put thoughtfulness before action. Consider the future, then strike. This was overwhelming.
Irritating.
are so many mysteries to meditate and prepare. I have just the trick for this.
Well, we're getting to do the thing, so that's cool. I think we have one libation left. That was really annoying. Kind of want some number of the disputes now, because it does counter Dream Trawler in the late game. Oh, we haven't seen a single Uro, have we? This is probably fine. We did eventually get to do the thing with the Shark Typhoon. That was fun. Now back to the unfun part. No blue mana means we can't even guarantee a Shark Typhoon cycle on 2. So need a second black source. Counterspell me. No? I am disappointed. Borrower boy. Bring it on. Fires into giant creature. Yep, and that's game. Get 8 mana worth of stuff in one turn, usually does it. Well, we can die is mostly what we can do. Jesus. Yeah, we can die. Boy, sure am glad we got to have fun for 0.1 second. So this has been Not Safe for Work Magic. I am Gravity Groove. Don't play Standard, kids. It's not fun. It sucks. Go into hibernation. Wait 4 months. Wait for the TurboGrafx Mini to come out. Wait for the new Xbox X, PlayStation 5 to come out. Leave this game behind until they pull their heads out of their asses long enough to make a playable game. Play Hearthstone. Play Runeterra. Really, play Runeterra. I've only played Runeterra a little bit, but it seems good. It's certainly better than this. So thank you for suffering. There are no easy solutions here. There are no decks that puncture the meta. There's just broken cards and broken cards and broken cards. You know, you've been here. We've done this. We're old hat at this point. You know the drill. Sadly, if you want to win, you're going to have to play the same dumb, repetitive bullshit as everyone else. So build a companion deck if you really care about rank. Otherwise, just drop out, man. Play something else. Hey, and we disconnected right as we end the show. That's awesome. I actually love that. Thanks for watching. And I'm sorry. Later.